you are planning to travel to Vietnam, then you have come to the right video, because we have lived in Vietnam for 3 months and we have traveled all over Vietnam extensively. Or if you are a full-time travel family, or if you're someone who is traveling with your kids for a bit longer period of time, maybe 3 months or 6 months or even a year, then this particular video is perfect for you, because further down the line we're going to share some points that you have never heard before.
So in this video, we're going to cover 12 things that you must know before coming to this amazing country. So let's get started.
Let's talk about visa. Now, people from most countries would require to have visa to come to Vietnam. We got a multiple entry 90-day visa for 242 Australian dollars. The thing here to note is that you can apply for your visas online. However, there are many websites online that work as a middleman and try to rip you off with higher fees, so you need to be wary about that. We'll put you the official link in the description so you can go and have a look there.
So traveling around Vietnam is pretty easy, especially in the cities. There are a lot of local ride-sharing apps as well as Grab, which is what we use. Just like Bangkok, you've got the option of both bikes and cars. When we didn't have Yara with us, we always used the bike. They always give you a helmet, but make sure that you wear a mask because sometimes the air pollution can get a bit hectic. When we traveled within the country, we used cars and buses. So what we've seen is that the road network is pretty good. You've also got the options of domestic flights through Vietjet and Viet Airlines, and you've got the options of a number of sleeper trains as well. But one thing we must say is that the public transportation still has a long way to go. In Saigon, they're building their metro train line, but I'm not quite sure when it will officially start, but hopefully pretty soon.
For those who don't know us, we are Nabeel and Zenesta, and last year we quit our 6-figure jobs, packed up our lives in Australia, and now we are doing an adult gap year with our toddler. Our goal is simple: focus on creating a freedom-based business with the bonus of travel.
If you're coming to Vietnam, there are a lot of places to visit, but if you want to stay in a particular place which is very close to nature and quite inexpensive, you can consider the capital city Hanoi. If you want a beach town, you can consider Da Nang or Hoi An. But if you want a bustling metropolitan, you can consider Saigon, which is where we lived for 3 months. In Saigon, you can consider either District 1, District 2, or District 7. We would recommend staying in Thao Dien in District 2 because that's where all the expats stay and you've got a lot of services and amenities there. If you're staying in Saigon for a long period of time, we would recommend that you visit some Facebook expat groups and reach out to landlords or real estate agents, because that will definitely be a lot cheaper than going through Airbnb.
How expensive is Vietnam? Personally, we felt that Vietnam is a very inexpensive country in the whole of Southeast Asia, and we can go as far as saying all over the world, because we found it very affordable in comparison to all the other countries that we've lived in the past couple of months. However, we found that Saigon is a bit more expensive than living in Hanoi. Obviously, Saigon is a metropolitan city and that's the reason why, but you could choose either or. Regardless, it's quite affordable. Most things here are very reasonable except those imported goods, which are the same case in any other country. If you are an expat family and if you're looking for imported goods, then Anam Gourmet is one of the shops here in Saigon where you can look out for all your essential needs.
You need something delivered, Vietnam's got you covered. The services here are very fast and quite reasonable. The most popular app is Grab, which is a super app across all of Southeast Asia. We've used this for groceries, for food delivery, as well as transportation. But you've got other local options such as Viettel Post, GoFood, Gojek, and JNT Express.
The weather in Vietnam is quite different based on where you're located. If you're north, the weather is different. If you're south, the weather is different. In the north, there are 4 seasons. There's summer, winter, spring, and autumn. We went there in January and it was quite cold. For example, we went in Sapa and we were freezing there. For south of Vietnam, there are only 2 seasons, the dry season and rainy season. In Saigon, we stayed during the dry season, which was pretty nice. But if you opt to stay in rainy season, just be mindful that it can flood over here and it becomes a bit of inconvenience traveling while it's raining.
found Vietnamese people to be nice, respectful, but a bit reserved. They take their history very seriously and national pride is really high. So when you're here, make sure that you do not disrespect their national heroes such as Ho Chi Minh or their government.
Let's talk about English proficiency in Vietnam. What we have noticed that the younger generation, especially in the main cities, they can speak English quite well. However, all throughout Vietnam, the English proficiency is a bit limited. So you would need to use your Google Translate at many instances. We found that not to be a problem because the app would really help us translate and they would understand what we wanted.
We've found Vietnam to be quite safe. To be honest, we haven't felt unsafe pretty much during our entire stay. However, the only thing we will say is that if you ever are crossing the road, just make sure you're very cautious because they've got a lot of bikes and they're like zipping through very fast.
Let's talk about water safety. Now, you cannot drink water directly from tap, so you would need to buy bottled water, and just make sure you do that because you do not want to get sick in your travel.
Vietnamese cuisine is world famous. You must have heard of pho or banh mi. We have found northern Vietnam's food to be extremely amazing, very clean and quite delicious. But to be honest with you, the food was a bit foreign for us. So after the initial excitement reduced, we found ourselves moving towards more international cuisine, which by the way is quite limited over here. You've got international cuisine, but there aren't a wide variety of it. Lastly, what we want to say about Vietnam is it's one of the largest exporters of coffee. When you're here, definitely do try their local coffee, but I must warn you that it's quite strong and takes a bit of getting used to. And if you're ever in the north of Vietnam, definitely do try their egg coffee. It's a nice delicacy and definitely a must try.
Okay, this is specifically for those people who are traveling with their little ones. So if you are a full-time travel family or if you are a digital nomad family, then this one is for you. Vietnam has a lot of international school, preschool, daycares, and indoor play areas. Most of these international schools and preschools are located around expat locations. So it would be much more advisable if you live around those expat locations to avail those services, because sometimes traveling within the traffic in Vietnam, especially in Saigon, where all these schools are located, can be a bit tricky. You can also hire nannies here in Vietnam. We have seen a lot of families hiring nannies, though hiring one who can speak English fluently can be a bit tough and can be a bit expensive, but do know that you can find one. The community where we're living here in Saigon, we have seen a lot of children are being taken care by nanny. The nannies take them to different schools, activities, and also take them for swimming or any other lessons. So nanny facility is very prevalent here.
So there you have it. 12 things you must know before you travel to Vietnam. We hope that you found this video helpful, and we really hope that you would visit Vietnam because it's an amazing country with lots to offer.
Now, we have put our daughter into a preschool here in Vietnam when we stayed here in Saigon. So we've done a comprehensive video in terms of how an international preschool would look like here in Saigon. So we'll link that video up here so you can go and have a look and make a decision based on that, whether you want to relocate your family for a couple of months and try and experience a new culture, a new country.
Do subscribe to our channel as we continue to post videos every week so that you get notified. Take care and see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye.